Hello everybody and welcome in. Hope we're all doing fantastic here today as we get ready for another fun race here by the Gran Turismo racing community. So welcome in. Hope everybody's had a fantastic first week of 2026, and I'm happy to say we're finally back here with honestly one of my favorite communities to work with here. We've been working with the Gran Turismo racing community here at GT45 Gaming for about 4 years now, and this is the most chill, cool, calm, collected, casual racing community out there that I work with. And you know what? They have a lot of fun on the racetrack. So we're going to get a little taste of that here for our viewers here today as we finally get back into the rhythm here at GT45 Gaming. We get back with our favorite little chill racing community here, the Gran Turismo racing community, to bring out another live racing event for everybody. So we have a 1 hour endurance race here today, and I hope you're all excited for it. This is a Group 4 championship, and it is a drivetrain specific championship. So what that means, ladies and gentlemen, is that each round that the Group 4 championship is running, there is a specific drivetrain required for the race. So this week's race is front wheel drive only. So we are going to see a massive battle here today in front wheel drive only, and I believe that this is a topless short. So this is going to be a fun race here. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get live earlier to bring the last round of racing to everybody. I was in a conversation in behind the scenes. I ran quite a bit into overtime, so we'll get the live race out to you guys here anyways today. And I suspect this is going to be a fun one. The front wheel drive class is fairly equal in amongst itself, but slightly outclassed overall in the Group 4 drivetrain class, in my opinion. So it's great to see all the front-wheel drives being displayed in Gran Turismo 7, because they are absolutely just ignored in the train of racing love. When we think about our front-wheel drives in Gran Turismo, this brings me right down into the real-life touring car series, TCS series. This is what the front-wheel drive class in Gran Turismo 7 reminds me of. I think that they've should really have a class of their own in the game, but they don't. They're considered Group 4 cars, so they are really overshadowed when it comes to Group 4 racing, and I'm a personal favorite of the Audi TT Group 4 car, which is a front-wheel drive car as well. And I gotta tell you what, man, I drove the snot out of that car. Love that car. So I'm really happy to see the front wheel drives here. Today is gonna make for a fantastic race for everybody. So it's our first commentary of 2026 as well, ladies and gentlemen, here for GT45 Gaming. So welcome to the very first live sim racing broadcast presented by GT45 Gaming and the Gran Turismo racing community. Absolutely great stuff here. So these guys do have a Discord server. They run events all year long. They usually run 2 championships at the same time beside each other. And as we move forward into 2026 with the GTRC, without really telling any real dirty secrets of what we can expect in the future, is the one thing we can expect is a little bit of a step up in this main championship here. The GTRC really wants to up the competition in the main championship, so I can't wait to see what they're going to brew up for us here after this set of championship seasons coming into the future. But I gotta tell you what, we're seeing a lot of new faces coming into the GTRC here on a regular basis over the last couple of months, and we're starting to see those new faces get engaged within the racing community as well. So always moving forward is a great thing. Yeah, I know he's got the TT. Trust me, I know. Oh, I know who's getting the camera time, Nuclear. Don't you worry. We all know that TT is getting love today. I made a comment in Discord as the race was preparing for this racing round that anybody not in an Audi TT Cup car can assume that they're going to get less camera time because they didn't pick the commentator's favorite front-wheel drive to drive here. And surprisingly enough to me, and shockingly enough to me, there's only one in the field. So you know who we're going to be looking at lost today. No, I'm kidding. We do love that Audi though, we really do. It's my jam on GT7. If there's any car that I love to drive GT7 over any other car in the game, it is genuinely that Audi TT Cup car. Don't know why, just love it. It's got smooth curves, it looks absolutely mean but sexy and professional all at the same time, and it's a little bit of a gangsta, It's got some gems in there. Alright, so right now the drivers are just warming up, ladies and gentlemen. Normally we have the whole spiel and all the details up on the stream and everything for you, but again, because we've been away for so long with our lovely little GTRC friends here, we don't have all that stuff in play here today. We got to get back into the rhythm and get back into their groove here and get our streams all reconfigured here for these guys as well. So we'll be doing that in the off week after this week to prepare for the next Group 4 round. So hope everybody enjoys it. If you enjoy the content, definitely do us a favor and smash that like button. If you want to find more races from the past in the GTRC to see what other type of stuff they do, head over to the Gran Turismo Racing Community YouTube channel at GTRC, or no, what is it? I think it's at Gran Turismo Racing Community at YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to have to pin that link for you guys next week. So we're just resetting the lobby here right now, and what that's going to do is allow qualifying to take place. And ooh, juicy! We got some rain. I say we should have stuck with the rain. What do you think, chat? I think we should have stuck with the rain. Alright. Give me a heads up on audios and everything too, ladies and gentlemen. We have, like I said, we haven't streamed with these guys for a while, so the overlay package that we use for our amazing Gran Turismo Racing community racers has not been used. How the audio balance is, we can literally adjust it on the fly for everybody. Come on, Bar. You know I've been hanging around with Ray way too long, right? Rain is just something that gets me excited. I blame his roots. We love our British community, don't get me wrong. We actually, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, the largest percentage of viewership here at GT45 Gaming actually comes from our British community, our European friends over there in the UK, so we really do appreciate our European viewership and the heart and soul that GT45 Gaming does, so we really do appreciate it. I know we're going to jokes, but it's all in harmless fun and never with any ill intention. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's very large reason why we're here. We're still doing what we do today, so we do appreciate it. You know what else that means, Canadians and Americans? You need to step your game up, man. Come on, come on. You can't be the smaller percentage of your issue at GT45. As a North American content creator, you guys need to play your pants up and give the program. Just say it. Tell your friends. Get them over here to sub. Alright? It's that like button. Alright, so guys are qualifying right now. This is officially our qualifying lap, so let's proceed on the track. We've got Doug Barrow here. We've got Type R in the Napa Auto Parts car. Love it. We've got that Audi TT kit. That's it. We're just going to stay here the rest of the race and watch Ruben. Eastland for the win. Eastland for the win. Oh, I take it back. We got Petrolhead. Oh. Wait, we got two Audis on the house here now. Now we're talking. See, Petrolhead took it seriously. He wants camera time over here for races on the car. Alright, we got Bar here as well. It looks like he's opted to go with, Super. Okay. We got Rat Junior here, Mia Skinner. YouTube channel as well, Mia Skinner at YouTube. Go check her out, go throw her a like, say hi. We got Superboy here from Team Rat on track. We've got Elmar's Ishmael here as well. Absolutely fantastic race. We expect him to put some pressure up the top in the field here today. We got Hair Razor, long-standing community member, vital member of the GTRC community here, and host of the blog here today. So thank you, Hair Razor, for always stepping above and beyond to make sure that these racers have an awesome place to race. Game's way too loud, can't hear you, can't afford it. Got the admin team up in the house, making sure everything's sounding good for the viewers. Absolutely appreciate the game so much. Maybe it's a little bit louder here, right? Try to knock it down a few decibels. Let me know how it is, Ginger. Appreciate you. Better make sure my mic's actually all the way up too. Alright, so Superboy is currently sitting in pole position. We didn't get through everybody in the field here. We're still missing a couple of drivers. We got Mike 1972 here. I believe I've seen a Sheriff Doofy in 11th place there as well. And we've got TDC Gaming at YouTube, also live right now, giving you his POV of the race. I tell you, man, we got lots of great creators within the GT45 game community. So if you want to take a look at a different perspective of the race, you have some options. You can head over to at TDC Gaming on YouTube or at Mia Skinner on YouTube as well, and there will be a couple of driver POVs for the race as well. If you want to check out a different look, go say hi to the race as well. You know, they tackle on the challenge of racing these Group 4 cars here today. A topless is a tricky racetrack. This is just a short version of it. Obviously with the Group 4 good deal. Perfect. Thanks, Ginger. Appreciate you, my dude. Fast Ginger coming in with all the thumbnail graphic work on the page here lately too. All these great thumbnails we're seeing here live stream here is definitely coming from Mr. Fast Ginger, the YouTube commenter. We appreciate him. I mean, vital member of the team that keeps the things moving in behind, keeps the cogs and wheels spinning in behind GT45 games. So absolutely appreciate the team. Love you, my man. Appreciate it. All right, so Super's having a little bit of fun here. So GTRC does things differently, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, everybody's parking it at the end of turn 1 here. So everybody essentially got 2 flying laps to put in their qualifying time, and then they all come and hang out here at the end of turn number 1 until all the racers have completed their 2 laps and park it, and then they go ahead and start the race. So basically what we're seeing here now at this point is where it looks like our racers are going to end up here, and a couple of racers not having ideal laps here. Looks like his cat is going to be the last driver to come through there. So it's Doug Burrow in pole position. It'll be Super lined up right beside him in row number 2 is going to be Ishmael Truth. Sitting beside him will be Hair Razor. In row number 3 is going to be Mike 1972 with Bar 27 right beside him. Row number 4 will be Type R with Rads UU, aka Mia Skinner. It's sitting there beside him. In row number 5 is going to be Eastland with Petrolhead right beside him. So Audis side by side there to start the race off. In 11th place will be TDC Gaming in row 6, and it will be Sheriff Doofy lined up beside him. So big, fat grid of Group 4 cars here today, ladies and gentlemen. 12 drivers on track. Group 4 front-wheel drive action at its finest here at a top of the short from the Gran Turismo racing community. I'm excited about this race today, if you can't tell, Chad. I'm pretty excited in my voice right now. I haven't done commentary in a hot minute here for anybody, which is our groove, man. It's what we love to do. We love to let the viewer see the racing action as it literally unfolds in front of everybody. I know we have driver names over the cars right now. We will totally correct that when the race starts. Let's correct that right now. I don't like that. It doesn't look good. This looks so much better. Oh yeah, Audi coming in with the 180 tail spin there. We love it. We love it. Great looking group of cars here. We got a great group of drivers here. Mixed male and female competitors here at the Gran Turismo racing community. So you know it really is going to be a great race here today. So just bear with, as they're just going to set the race in motion. So we're going to see a 1 hour race here today, and I believe that it is hard and medium tires required in these races this season, so there will be a mandatory pit stop in play at some point in the race. Now that's going to come up to the drivers, and if the weather is on random, we have already seen in the broadcast that it most certainly can get wet here at a topless. So if the weather is indeed set to random, then we could potentially expect to see some wet conditions here, which will also factor in a different strategy for these races. Now, in the case of a wet race, which the indicator is the 33% moisture meter on the bottom part of the screen on the left-hand side beside the tires, there's a little meter there, and when a blue line gets to that very first tick above the bottom, so basically above the rear tire there, it is called 33% wet conditions. That is to the point where it is declared a wet race, and when that declaration is made or determined, that means that the tire mandate no longer is valid. So that means that the drivers do not no longer need to follow the requirement for the required tires for that race. So rain can completely turn the race upside down. And you know, we kind of hope it happens, because these front wheel drives are quite fun to drive in the rain, if I'm going to be quite frank. And it'll just add to the intensity of the race here today. But apparently we had a doozy of a race in the last round, and it's getting a little bit past getting the rebroadcast down now with Ron 6 literally live in front of us here. So I think we'll just have to take that replay and make a highlight reel out of it or something like that for these guys. But yeah, kick them tires, light them fires. Let's go racing, chat. And Doug Barrow's going to take us off here, and we're green, and we are off. So here we go, side by side action between Doug Barrow and Superboy, and the whole field is very close together, 2 and 3 wide here as we head into turn number 1. Ishmael takes a little bit look up the inside, and a little touch there. Maybe Doug was unaware that Ishmael was sitting there. Unsure. He was more than aware the Super was there, but Super, due to that, now scoots out into the race lead. So a great attempt there by Ishmael, but I think Doug was unaware that Ish was there and got pinched off there, so he did settle stay in third place. Mike 1972 trying to take advantage of that, but Hair Raiser with a big move on the outside there, and now Mike falls down in position here in the 5th place, and now he's under fire there by Bar. A small little touch between the two drivers there, no harm, no fouls, very close, tight-knit racing. And quite frankly, we're going to see a little bit of tire rubbing, we're going to see a little bit of door bashing here in the early parts of these races, especially with these little coupe cars, right? So these front-wheel drive cars are very, very close as far as performance goes, so hopefully with any luck we can see these cars stay relatively close throughout the entirety of the race as well. But 1 hour is a very long time to race, and if you make a mistake very early on in the race, you can't panic, because there's plenty of time to make up for any mistake made early on in the race. And now as we kind of get back in single file motion here as we near the end of the starting lap here, official race pace now underway. You can see all 12 cars just in a nice single file line heading into the first corner here at the top of the short today. And who is going to be the first to take a look to make a move? Hair Raiser does go on the defense there. Mike 1972 did take a little bit of a look there, but there wasn't an opening there. We've got Bar and Petrolhead now battling for 6th place here. And Petrolhead did start, I believe it was in 10th place, so he's made some very early gains on here in the race, up 4 positions, and now applying some pressure there to Bar 27 in 6th place, and looking for a way through, and he finds a hole there. He takes it down the inside through the double hairpin there, but Bar's going to have the inside track around his next hairpin. But if Hair Raiser are going to hang it out here, that's going to give him the inside line coming into this sweeping right-hander. Nope, Bar gets himself in the right position here. Great defensive battle here right now from Bar 27, but Petrol sends it in deep over there on Bar 27 and gets it done on the outside. Very big move right there for Petrolhead. Tough move to pull off in that corner, and pulls it off like it was nothing. and up into 6th place there. So great, well, I mean, it's an Audi. Of course he's going to get that position. I mean, what are we talking about here? No, I'm kidding. A great move there from Petrolhead. Gets a little bit wide on the exit there. That's going to compromise him here. We got Eastland here up in the 9th place, started in 9th place as well. So hasn't gained or lost here. You down a couple of spots here. Had a little bit of a rough start to the race, shuffling down to the pack. But of course, we do have drivers on different tire compounds here, and you guys obviously can see all that information. It's not something that we choose to hide at the Gran Turismo racing community. It's the racers are racing. They're not sitting here paying attention to who's on what tire and who's getting what fuel. I mean, in all honesty, most of these races are all in the chat to get all the races ongoing anyways. So, yeah, I mean, it's not a factor of fair play or for competition or anything like that. So we choose not to hide that information at the bottom of the screen to our viewers. So you guys actually get to kind of see, you know, how the drivers are thinking. You get to see the strategies and work in their minds. You get to see their fuel. You get to see their shifting points. You know, for our average racers that watch the live broadcast, you know, you can really sit there and kind of just watch the trajectories on the bottom of the screen, so to speak, that the racers are putting in, and maybe you can pick something up from them that they're doing differently than you. Maybe that helps you improve. In all honesty, that's what's helped me improve over the years as a sim racer. Is really just doing live commentary, just watching hundreds of races and broadcasting hundreds of races, and just watching what the drivers are doing. Trying to catch those visual points where they're hitting those things, right? So it is really a learning experience too. So it does give our viewers an opportunity to really kind of see what the racers are doing and doing it as it's happening and as situations are unfolding in front of them, right? And how they manage those things. So there's a lot of information there to be taken if you're a viewer watching as well, especially if you're a sim racing viewer. You never know what you're going to pick up from another driver if you're paying attention. That little bit of information that we just get to the bottom of the screen can tell you so much. As a racer, if you can interpret the information, right? So, yeah, no need to hide it here. I mean, like I said, this is the most chill competitive racing community I've ever been a part of as far as their championship racing goes. You know, it is competitive and they're all fighting for the top spot, but at the end of the day, you know, they're very tight group of racers here, and every new racer is always welcome, like they're immediately a part of the family, and it provides for a really good, calm, chill racing community on and off the camera, so it's really fantastic. You know, if that's what you're looking for as a racer, GTRC community is definitely the community for you. I'm not the episode of it's very Eastern and Western Hemisphere diverse community. There is plenty of North American drivers and UK drivers and in all corners around both those areas as well. So I mean, you know, it's a very diverse community as well. Alright, so Super is still in the lead, but Doug is starting to close back in here. So great battle here between our pole sitter and basically our fastest two qualifiers here. They're just in swap positions currently for qualifying now. Super up in first and Doug in the second here. Harry's though making some gains, making some ground. Up in P3 here right now and trying to close in. 2.8 seconds is that gap. Mike 1972 also up a position here now into fourth position and is about 1.5 seconds in behind Harry's, but he does have Elamar's Ismail right there in fifth place chasing him behind. Playing it cool, calm, and collected. I mean, this is a very patient racer. And he doesn't panic, it seems like, he's behind the wheel. He's very consistent, and he understands how to save his race car and use it when it matters. And that's exactly kind of what we're seeing out of Ishmael right here, right now. And I suspect by near the end of the race, you know, we'll start seeing that pressure be applied towards the front end of the field if he can get himself obviously into that position throughout the race. We're just going based off statistical information here. He's always a very strong competitor here at the Gran Turismo racing community, and he's usually one of those drivers we're looking out for in the races, so we always expect to see him get pressure from the top 5 part of the field, just statistically speaking. Alright, so Type R here, absolutely great racer as well. He's just like every other sim racer out there. You know, a lot of the racers here at GTRC are just like that. We're all average to above average paced racers, and we all have our skill sets, but Type R's skill set really is defensive driving. I mean, that is like his creme de brulee of sim racing. I mean, he just knows where to place the car and how to place it to make it so difficult for anybody trying to get a pass done on him to get a pass done on him. And we're going to watch this a little bit here right now as Petrolhead's exactly trying to figure that out. out right now is him and Type R now side by side looking for that 8th place position, and Petrolhead is right there. He's giving him the business. You know, we're even seeing a little paint being swapped, a little touchy between the two cars, and it's just is not making it easy, but he does get the job done. So Petrolhead does move up into 8th place, and now Rad's UU is sitting there trying to apply some pressure to Type R here as well. So Type R is definitely in the thick of that mid-pack battle here right now, and this is great racing from our front-wheel drive racers here. Mia gives him a little bump through the corner there. She gets a good mid-corner roll there, and all that does is really help Type R just get up the corner a little bit faster. But Type R is going to bring it in for a pit stop here, so perhaps a scheduled pit stop. He knows something that the rest of the field maybe doesn't know, or maybe he sees something on the radar that we do not see. But it does look quite nice on the racetrack right now, so I kind of suspect definitely bring the lane here. I see no indications of any inclement weather currently moving into the racetrack on my end. Obviously, we don't have any different information that the racers have to disposal. As a matter of fact, we actually have one less essentially in this end of the lobby. So we don't know what the weather radar is doing. We can only speculate based off of little things that we know about the weather. Obviously, as a commentator, we spent enough time, but also as a league organizer, we have to also understand how the game mechanics work when we're setting these races up, championships up, and that's a big part of it. And I just really have a good grasp now on how the dynamic weather works and why it does what it does in certain settings. So there's just no indications that there's inclement weather currently moving in. You can see just barely a few clouds up in the sky above when we get a shot of the sky in the camera there, and it's quite sunny on the racetrack. So just a scheduled pit stop, if I had to guess, from Type R, and a very early one too. So going for a very bold strategy here is Type R, maybe a 3-star strategy he's contemplating here. I'm not sure, but we're definitely going to find out. Now, the front-wheel drive cars have one major issue for the most part when they're racing a front-wheel drive car. What makes them so different from the rest of the drivetrains in the class that they're competing in, we might think, or we might wonder. Well, I mean, basically your front tires are doing all the work on these cars. They are the brakes, they're the acceleration point, and all the weight is also sitting on those front tires with the engine and everything that's connected to make these cars do what they do. So the front tires are taking literally 100% of the strain of races in the front-wheel drive class, and we're going to see the tires, depending on how the racers are racing these cars, degrade very quickly, potentially. So front-wheel drive 4 cars, the biggest issue with these cars is obviously the front tire wear issue. But with that being said, that means that the rear tires aren't really getting a whole lot of work out, and an important factor in racing, real world or sim racing, is tire temperature. I mean, tire temperature means so much in grip levels, and if you don't have your tire temperature on all 4 of your tires as close to that optimal range as you need to get your car in its maximum output range, then it's going to cause different kinds of complications for the car, depending on situations, depending on corners, depending on if you're slipstreaming or draft driving. And the big one is the rear tires do not maintain temperature very well in these front-wheel drive cars, no matter how hard you seem to drive them. Obviously, the harder you drive it, the more you're going to do to the front tires, and you're not really helping your back tires. So at about 10 to 15 minutes in the races, after a long run in these front-wheel drive cars, those rear tires actually start to get quite cold. They lose temperature, and what that does is it creates rear slide in these front-wheel drive cars, and that rear slide starts to again create extra friction on the front tires. It's also costing incredible speed, which means in relation you're losing time every lap around the racetrack, which means your opponents are potentially closing the gap to get that position off of you. So you really have to manage your pace, conditioning, and consistency in these front-wheel drive cars to really succeed in these front-wheel drive cars, because the biggest battle is the tires in the set of these cars. So no matter what we do, I mean, we can throw the brake bias all the way to the rear of these cars and try and get as much braking power into the rear tires and try and help build that. But at the end of the day, it's just the way it works in Gran Turismo 7 with these front-wheel drive cars, and you're constantly battling very cold rear tires, and that can make it very difficult on a very technical racetrack. This isn't as technical a racetrack, so to speak, so you may not see that effect happening as aggressively here at the top of the short, but we were on a racetrack like Goodwood Circuit or Interlagos or Dragon Trail Gardens, something that is very twisty, turny, spending a lot of time going left, right, left, instead of in a straight line under power. That's when you're going to notice those rear tires are really giving drivers grief. try and see if we can catch signs of that here in the race today, but so far it's been looking pretty good. So we got Hair Raiser now up into second place. He's managed to get around Doug here, and Doug's now dropped from pole position down to third place here currently on the racetrack. And you can see some varying lines coming into this final corner as well. And I don't know if, I mean, to keep it tight, do you get a better run than if you take that midline like we're seeing some racers? We can straighten out that final chicane a little bit better. It's really hard to say here at the top of the short. It all comes down to carrying speed around these corners, really, at the end of the day, for maximum pace around the racetrack here. And I mean, if you got maximum speed through the middle, you can have all extra speed or above, which means you're getting a good pull over the corner, which means you're getting lap times, lap to lap. So carrying speed is very, very important here today for these racers as well as they continue their journey for this 1 hour small endurance event here at the GTRC community. Again, this is round 6 of their Group 4 Drivetrain Championship this season. I really like what they did with the design of this championship this season by splitting it up into the drivetrains, because that really does force all the drivers to adapt to different types of Group 4 cars throughout the championship, which may pull some drivers out of comfort zones that they're not used to, which should essentially potentially give other drivers an opportunity to capitalize on a strength of a car that they may be better in than their competitors in one round to the next. But it also showcases and displays all the different styles of Group 4 cars throughout the championship racing series as well. And I mean, at the end of the day, there's so many different cars and things to choose from for 7 to race with and drive around racetracks. You know, it's always great to try and show and display as much of that as possible. So I think that the GTRC did a fantastic job with the setup of this championship this season, as far as how they've made a drivetrain mandatory. So we've seen, I believe we've seen the rear-wheel drive cars already in play. We've seen the MR cars, I believe, already in play. So now we're into our FF cars, and I'm not sure what the deal is for the finale. I'll brush it up a little bit on the series details here now as we're getting back into the swing of things. But definitely into our front-wheel drive portion of the championship here now. So we should have this week, at least next week for sure, of next round, pardon me, 2 weeks time, front-wheel action here as well. So should be good. Alright, so Hair Raiser is really starting to fall into the rhythm here now. Our 69 car here is starting to close in on our racing leader Superboy here. He's only got a half-second gap separating the two of them now for the race lead. So roughly about 3 car lengths with these little coupe cars. Doug Barrow and Mike Dixon here also nose and tail as they head up the front straightaway here for lap number 13, it looks like here. And as we head into turn number 1, no changes in position or attempt for battle there, as everybody is just right now. Ismail here in 5th place. He's about 4 seconds in behind that 3rd and 4th place set of drivers here right now, and he's got a decent little space in behind him here between himself and the mid-pack. More leading that mid-pack at 9.3 seconds from Ishmael there up into 5th place. Now we have to keep in mind that we do have drivers on different tire compounds here, which means they're on different paces around the racetrack here, which means when the pit stop strategy is coming into play, it's going to reverse the tire strategy. It's essentially the tire and the drivers that are on the slower tire here currently are going to be on the faster tire, and the drivers are currently on the faster tire. So this is where, again, strategy comes into play. And I mean, how do you determine what the best strategy is? Practice makes perfect. I mean, these racers put in a lot of time behind the scenes preparing for these races. They practice with each other. They try different strategies to ultimately find which strategy they feel is the best strategy to give them the best chance to win, or which is the best strategy for them to have a comfortable race so they can get their best points, whatever the case may be. We got TDC Gaming here, slowly but surely picking his way up through the field here in that Suzuki Swift. He's now up into 8th place here. We got Eastland just staying very strong here in 9th place right now. Again, cool, calm, collected here, not really applying any pressure. We got Rajiv now coming into pit lane to make what I assume is her scheduled pit stop here. We've got Sheriff Doofy here in 9th place, and we've got Petrolhead here in 10th position as well. So that means Type R here in 12th place is coming around. Let's see if he gets ahead of Raj Yuyu here as he comes around this front straight, and he should take that position from Yuyu there as he heads up past the start finish line to start the race. So these guys are ripping around this racetrack pretty good. We're going to 15 laps, so we are going to see roughly about 40 here. It looks like tonight's 45 laps around the racetrack, so we are far, far from over at this point. Alright, so Hair Razor is side by side with our race leader here. Super defending as Hair Razor takes the outside, but he did take a little bit of a look for an over-under opportunity there. It was there, but he was not close enough to take advantage of that. So we have two different types of cars here battling for the lead right now. We have the Volkswagen versus the Suzuki here currently. So Hair Razor gets the run in the slip. He does make it look like he's going to try and make a move into the first corner there, but just sits back and takes a nice clean line through the corner, which actually allows him to close right back in on the rear bumper of the 29 car here. So Supra again on the defense here, taking a midline defensive posture, which is very typical of Supra around the racetracks here. Pressure we see him try to make basically his car as wide as possible to try and close any potential hole for attack in behind. And so far he's doing a pretty good job at keeping Hair Razor at bay here, but Hair Razor, he does not trying to force a pass here. He's staying very calm, he's staying very calculated behind the wheel of his race car here right now, keeping just a small enough distance to make a reaction if he needs to, but also to be there to take the hole if the hole opens up. So here we go, Hair Razor gets a bit of a run there. He's almost got some position here and back on the outside into the final set of corners here, but Super with that inside line just has a shorter distance around the corner there and does pull back out in front of Hair Razor for the race lead here. And this is a juicy battle for the race lead here between 69 and 29 cars right now, but what that's allowing to happen now is Mike 1972 has got third place from Doug Barrow there, starting to close in on this battle. The more that they continue to fight, the more that they're letting those three drivers that are just trailing a little bit behind here to catch up. And Hair Razor finally gets the inside position heading into the first corner here, gets the position from Supra, does take the race lead over, but Supra immediately responds, gets a good run out of the first corner there, gets right back up in beside, and we are battling here for the race lead. A little bit of paint swapping happened there, some very good hard racing happening here right now for the race lead between Hair Razor and Supra. It is a gentleman's race here. It is not hard aggressive touching, it is just good, hard, tight racing right now between the 69 and 29 cars, and Mike 1972 is just loving what he's seeing right now in third place because the gap continues to close. We are under 2 seconds now, so he has gained a solid second, a little bit over on the front two racers here while they navigated that lap in a big battle for the race lead. So Doug Barrow here in fourth place, starting to slightly lose touch a little bit with the pack here. We can see tire degradation starting to factor in. Ishmael here is actually starting to close in on Doug a little bit here, now 1 second behind, so Ishmael is tracking himself here as well. Cool, calm, collected. Consistency is always seen as the key to his success here in the community, and he's showing that here again today so far. We've got Barr here in the 6th place. He's doing quite well here today as well, and we've been seeing a lot of improvement in Barr over the last few months, especially as he's gotten really settled back into the sim racing routine and rhythm here, and he's up here right in the mid-pack, battling with Eastland here for 7th place on the racetrack here just in behind. So we got some pit stops happening. We got Petrolhead making a scheduled pit stop. We got Sheriff coming in here now for a scheduled pit stop as well. Egmar has made that stop, and so has UU, which we accidentally skipped without intention. Hit the wrong button. And there's the 86 car here as she heads up the racetrack, grabs both those spots from those drivers as they make their pit stop. Autopolis is a pretty good racetrack. If you haven't raced it, you're not familiar with it, go try it out. It is definitely a very difficult racetrack. It tests a lot of different skills that you have to learn in order to navigate racetracks and race in this game. This is definitely a good course to really kind of learn and adapt to those types of situations. It is not an easy racetrack. It really is not. Super now with a half-second track limit penalty here, and that is going to put him at the mercy of Mike 1972. So now what Mike needs to do here over the next half of the lap before he has to serve that penalty at the required serving zone is just continue to maintain the distance, try to close it up as much as possible. If he can even get a position before them, fantastic, but I don't think that's going to happen. What he needs to do is stay close. The closer he stays here, that half-second penalty is going to turn into about 3/4 of a second because of the distance that he has to regain, and Mike will easily be able to move up into P2 when Supra serves that penalty. So that's kind of what we are waiting on here. As we're getting near that penalty serving zone. I mean, Mike 1972 has done more than just stay within that half second. He's basically closed up to a car length at this point of Superboy here. So Superboy currently on the downslide through the grid here right now, just with little mistakes around the racetrack. But again, only 20 gets into a 60-minute race, so the drivers have plenty of time left yet to make up for any little mistakes on the racetrack, and there it is. So Supra had to serve that penalty there as he just crossed those yellow flags we seen on the edge of the racetrack, and it was a very easy pass there for Mike 1972 to move up into P2. So Supra now in third place. Ishmael 6.9 seconds in behind, has managed to navigate around Doug Barrow there in fifth place. We have bar 27, 14 seconds in behind that front pack, and he's starting to feel a little bit of pressure here from the Audi and behind him from Eastland as well. So a battle starting to develop here for sixth place, but we now got Doug Barrow coming into pit lane here to make his scheduled pit stop. And now we'll give both these drivers a position on track for the time being until, of course, they decide to make their scheduled pit stop, and then we'll probably see that all kind of hand back over to Doug in a sense. In theory, anyways, that's not necessarily the case, but in theory. So Doug comes out in front of TDC Gaming here, the Dan Cat. The Dan Cat is about 5 seconds ahead of Type R, currently sitting in ninth position here in the Napa Auto Parts Volkswagen here today. We've got Brad's UU here, rocking and rolling as well. You notice that, eh? We've got a Renault here from Sheriff Doofy in 11th place, and then we've got Petrolhead here in the Audi TT Cup car. So Harry now 1.2 seconds up the road in first place. No immediate pressure right now from in behind. Mike 1972 has done a good job at defending the re-attack from Supra there. He has not really allowed Supra close enough to make it a re-attack for second place here. So Supra's just settled into third place in behind here, and he's doing what he can to try and close up and re-engage that battle. But for the time being, sitting in third place, still right there, still striking distance, and the mistake is made where a battle starts to happen out front. He is right there to potentially capitalize, and a 7-second gap to Ishmael in behind as well from our top three. So a little bit of a space from third and fourth place, and then fourth place has 17 seconds to the rest of the pack. Eastland has managed to get around bar 27 here in fifth place. Bar overshoots the exit of turn one here. That's going to cost him a little bit of dirt on the tires and a little bit of momentum there. So Eastland is slowly but surely starting to get away from Bar there. We got Doug Barrow now in seventh place. He's coming out of pit lane. We've got TDC here in eighth position as well. 2 seconds in behind Doug. We've got Type R 5 seconds in behind them. And the race has settled down a little bit. So basically what needs to, we've got to see how the pit stop sequences at this point are now kind of sort the field out. So as we say that, we've got our third place driver, Superboy, now coming into pit lane here as well to make his pit stop. So a bit of an undercut strategy being worked here by Supra, it looks like. That now allows Ishmael to take that position away and move up into third place as well. Settle down in the mid part of the race, and that's pretty normal as we start to kind of transition through that pit stop sequence. We see the race spread out a little bit, we see the gaps grow a little bit, and it kind of as everybody gets through that process of making their pit stops, whenever that desired time is, we start to kind of tell the real story about how the race is potentially going to unfold. So that we're kind of right in that process right now. We're going to sit here with TDC Gaming, again live over there on YouTube at TDC Gaming. And he's going to take a pit stop here. And this is a beautiful feature in Gran Turismo 7 here. I mean, you literally can watch the whole motion of pit stop as the racers go. Not quite all of it. I mean, you can see there was well, how did he get from point A to point B right there? You can just see a little glitch in the matrix, and he's on the pit lane. But, you know, great job. You get the pit stop sequence. Let's grow. What's up, Nolander? Hope you're doing fantastic, my dude. And, there's no other sim racing game out there right now that shows that. Not one. I mean, there just isn't one for console right now outside of GT7 that actually shows pit stop, true pit stop. You know, tires being changed, fuel going in, they'll get the lollipop man holding the car. They're the whole 9 yards. So they've done a fantastic job visually for sure with Gran Turismo 7. And I mean, they are king of the platform still, in my opinion, when it comes to console championship racing. They have everything that you need as a streamer and as a community to do exactly what we're doing right here, right now. Other games struggle to even come close to what GT7 does in this sense. So, I mean, that's why a lot of the sim racing, the live content we see on YouTube, Twitch, and all the platforms coming from GT7. It's not a PC platform. I know there's lots of arguments out there that there are much better sim racing games out there. Not wrong, not wrong. I mean, there's classifications of sim racing games, which we're not going to get into today, but, you know, GT7 is not in the same realm as a PCI racing or a PC ACC or a PC LMU, not by any stretch of the imagination. One console doesn't have that kind of processing power to meet those expectations out of the way. But I tell you what, if Gran Turismo ever decided to get into a PC market and appease that PC player market, I bet you this game would explode. It really will. The championship racing would be a whole different. I mean, there's you open up the game to the PC world. I mean, we're opening up the game to literally real life world legendary race car legends could be on the track against you at any given time. You just never know. I mean, you know, that's the thrill you get from those PC sims, right? I mean, you could be in an iRacing event, racing a LMP1 race somewhere, and you could be racing Max Verstappen or Lewis Hamilton or anything like that. Any famous race. You could be in a NASCAR, and I could be sitting there right beside retired Jeff Gordon, genuinely racing Jeff Gordon, throwing real on iRacing. I mean, you get opportunities in sim racing that you'll never, ever get in your life, and you get to meet real life heroes and real life legends to people just on the racetrack sometimes. And you know, that's where the draw is for these PC racers, right? I mean, besides the fact that PC is just a stronger machine, but when it comes to overall content stability and production value, GT7 is one of the leaders. It really is. Looks so great. The customization of the paint jobs on the cars, which is a great feature. You know, again, another feature that's not even nowhere near to the extent of what Gran Turismo is. No matter what platform it is, there is not another game out there that has the feature ability of designing your own paintwork on your cars and the easy accessibility to do so as well, without having these third-party apps and all this stuff to do it, with the exception unless you're making your own personalized decals for the car, I suppose. You know, there's hundreds of thousands of available things that you can blast all over your race car within the community scope. So it really is a fantastic game, and we love commentating on it. And I mean, it's just so user friendly, and it looks so good. Right down to the front clip here on TDC Gaming, you know, and obviously he has significant contact, enough to scar up the car there a little bit on the right front side there, and you know, all that cracked fiberglass and carbon fiber, you definitely can affect the aerodynamic ability of that car to some extent or another, right? It's going to catch wind differently, it's not going to channel the wind the same. That can potentially change the setup in the car feels. So the drivers have to adapt. I mean, GT7 is not just jump in and you're going to be as fast as every other guy out there style game. It's most certainly a downloaded, plug in your steering wheel controller and you can play the game and have fun with it immediately. Absolutely, most certainly is plug and play style. But when it comes down to this style of racing, when there's tire wear and fuel consumption involved, you know, physics matter and tire wear matters, and all those things are in play here. You know, it's just not as a heavy, intensive physics model as a more hardcore simulated game, because Gran Turismo has focused more on visual quality over physics quality. Not saying that their physics engine is bad, because I think it is pretty good. It provides great racing. It provides an ability and a platform for new sim racers to really learn properly the basic skills of, you know, car placement and car control. It has a lot of real racetracks involved. It also has a lot of fictional racetracks where you can test your ability as a sim racer to navigate different styles of corners and different types of situations. So I mean, the platform is a fantastic platform to get started in sim racing, in my opinion. It really is. There's definitely a lot of pros, cons, like that with every game, but you know, the pros outweigh the cons when it comes to Gran Turismo 7. It really does. Alright, so Hellraiser making his pit stop. Mike's the only racer at this point now. At Bar in Eastland, it looks like they still need to make that a scheduled pit stop. So give it up another couple of laps. If I had to guess, we're over the halfway mark of the race at this point. We're going to see the majority of the rest of the field make those final pit stops here. Harris is deciding to opt with the undercut strategy here. That makes sense. We've got Eastland here in 3rd place with Bar in 4th place. That puts Superboy in 5th place, just ahead of LMR. Ishmael's here, so Ishmael came just in behind Super by a second there after that pit stop. So Super's undercut didn't really seem to benefit him at all. He did not shake the 35 car off even remotely there through that undercut attempt. So we'll have to see how that plays out there. We got Doug here in 2nd place. We've got Type R feeling a little bit of heat from Azuyu right now, as well as our nose to tail here as we head through the midsection of the racetrack. This is a difficult section to navigate. It really requires precise throttle input, precise braking to really maximize your speed and exits out of this particular sector, especially coming up the hill here. You really want to get a good run up the hill here to make up what ground you can on a couple of longer power sections of the racetrack. And it also can open up an opportunity for a pass as well this final corner. And you can see that Rad Yu is going to have to take the outside here. Obviously, as Type R is going to place his car on the inside line. It's the shorter way around the corner. That's what defensive driving is. And very well done there by Type R. Yu just settles in, stays right in behind, and waits for another opportunity to potentially attack here. We're going to stick with this because it looks like Rad Yu is looking to battle here. She's looking to get around Type R here in 8th place and continue her journey towards the front of the pack. So let's see what she does here as we go back in through the midsection here. She's staying nice and close. She's definitely making sure she's right there in case an opportunity just happens to poke its head out and she can get that car into that opportunity. She is right there with him. Cannot shake her, that's for sure. But he's got just enough of a lead right now where she's not an immediate threat. However, as she closes up through this middle section here, this is where she is the immediate threat. Now she's going to take a midline here, go for the big exit here. She's going to look for a lot of power here to try and close up to the rear bumper and try to see if she can get pulled back on Type R up the hill and try to do something with braking in the final section here. But Type R is doing a pretty good job at just keeping me at bay here right now, keeping her just behind, and she can't easily create a hole to try and get this position from. Type R again just places his car very carefully, very precisely on the racetrack. Make sure he keeps it right on that apex so there's zero room for her to move. She has no choice but just to sit and look for yet another opportunity on the racetrack to attack. So patient racing here from these two racers right now, and great racing. I mean, that's why I love this. I mean, you know, they race hard, they play hard, but they do it very fairly for the most part. And I mean, every racetrack has accidents happen. It happens. Drivers make mistakes. There we go. Bar and Eastland now into pit lane. Wow, they literally came out side by side here. That was pretty intense. Race straight out of pit lane between Bar 27 and Eastland here, and they are still nose to tail. Bar does get the edge in that pit stop there. Does manage to get back ahead of Eastland, but they were genuinely side by side exiting pit lane there. You don't see that too often. Alright, TBC Gaming here now in 10th position. We've got Petrolhead here in 11th, and Sheriff is making a pit stop now in 12th position. So, we've seen the wind change dramatically here over the last 5 minutes. It was almost 11 feet per second on my screen, which is roughly about 4 meters per second, give or take. It is now half that. It has also changed direction. That is an indicator that the weather is changing. Something is moving in or away or towards the racetrack area in the geographical map. It has also become very evident that the sun has gone away. The racetrack is now monotone color essentially, which tells us that the sky above is completely overcast, so there's no sun peeking through a layer of cloud right now in the game. So the indicators of potential wet weather are there right now. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out, but we did see Sheriff make a pit stop there as well, and that's kind of what got my brain on the whole thing of, hold on here, there's been a big change in the wind here recently. Big changes in the wind on a racetrack is an indicator that the weather is potentially changing. Now when we look up, we see a overcast sky. It's not super thick cloud yet, but we could definitely start to see some graying patches in that cloud in the thickening areas. So depending on the part of the racetrack we're in here right now, we could potentially see we got some mist growing off in the hills on the outside of the racetrack there as well, on the southeast side of the track. So interesting. Are we going to see inclement weather play a factor here today? Mike 1972 in second place, so Hairraiser with a 2.3 second lead here right now, currently at the 37-minute mark of the 60-minute timer. Mike 1972 2.2 seconds in behind. Have a fantastic race here today. We've got Ishmael here now up into P3, and strategy and patience is always key to success. I continue to say that consistency is key. I mean, look at those lap times, with the exception of pit stops. I mean, his lap times are incredibly tight together. That is some great consistency being rolled out. So now we see a little bit of a sunny break starting to develop here on the racetrack. You can see that the clouds are breaking apart in the middle part of the racetrack here. So again, wind is always the indicator. The wind is always the indicator that you should probably start paying attention just for a minute or two to the weather, take a quick peek, see what it's doing on the weather radar, and make sure you don't have anything sneaking in the back door on you. We got Type R here in 6th place. We got Doug Barrow in 7th. We have Bar 27 here in 8th place with TDC Gaming in 9th. So TDC Gaming has navigated around Eastland here and taken that position, now trying to lose that Audi TT and get closed up on Bar 27 in front. Eastland here in 10th place, top 10 driver here, but he's going to take a look. TDC goes a little deep into the final corner there, and he opens up that inside apex into the corner, and great respect shown by Eastland into the next section there, and he just was unable to capitalize by the mistake of TDC. He got full inside there, got the position, but just was unable to capitalize. He settles back in behind TDC Gaming in 10th place and tries to close back up. We also see Team Rap's Petrolhead in the distance there in 11th place, just a couple seconds in behind, closing in on this battle as well. So juicy little battle happening in the back half of the field here right now. We got Sheriff here in 12th place, having a little bit of a struggle here today, and he was in a different car preparing for this race this weekend. When he got into the lobby today, he realized that it wasn't the front wheel drive version of the Megane. It was the I believe it was the rear wheel drive, or the MR version of the Megane, and literally had to jump into the front wheel drive version of the Megane maybe half an hour before the race, and literally has to try to adapt to a car that he has absolutely zero information on, potentially, if he's never raced it before. So he is literally adapting to this car on the fly under live racing conditions right now. So he is definitely explained why he's having a little bit of an issue here today. We haven't really seen any big mistakes coming from any of the racers on the racetrack here as far as like wrecks and accidents go. Haven't seen yellow flags waving at all on the screen. I've been watching that track radar. I haven't seen any arrows pivoting and bobbing around in a circle. So that tells me that the drivers have been keeping it on the racetrack, keeping it between the lines for the most part, right? There hasn't been any real hard wrecks. So yeah, I mean, that in itself is so. I'm fairly certain, based off of the behind-the-scenes information I know, that this is just a matter of, oops, I had the wrong car for this race, and I don't have a clue what this car is going to do, or what the fuel is like, or how the tire wear is. So we're just gonna roll with it. It's one of those situations I think today for Sheriff Doofy. So, you know, he's still out here gaining his points and getting his seat timing, which is always important. And you know, next time he has to jump on his car, he'll have a little bit more information to work on, essentially. Alright, so Type R here in 5th position. The Napa Auto Parts car doing very well for himself here. We're seeing some 2-stops coming from our racers here today, and I was starting to wonder about that very silently and see deep dark holes in my subconscious mind about the majority of the field looking like it's going to be a 2-stop strategy here. A very short, hard tire run, 2 medium tire runs. It kind of seems to be the case here for at least half the field, as we've seen half the field now start to make an additional pit stop here. That's definitely not a weather-related thing, although again, the wind continues to change significantly. So there's definitely a weather system moving through Autopolis right now. Whether or not it produces anything is yet to be determined. Doug in 11th place, Sheriff here in 12th place. Doug just making another pit stop there. And unfortunately for the 2-stoppers, anybody that's on the 1-stop and manages 1-stop strategy here today is going to come out on top of those 2-stop strategies here. I think that the field spread out just enough here right now, and the difference in tire strategy in the race, that these 2-stoppers have definitely pulled themselves today, unless something absolutely crazy drastic happens, like rain perhaps, can completely tear things upside down on us here. But for the most part here right now, I think what we're seeing is about what we're seeing. I mean, we have Hairraiser still 2.8 seconds up the road. We have Mike 0.6 seconds up the road from the 3rd place driver Ishmael, and we're going to actually sit here with Ishmael for a moment, because he closed up about 3-second gap there quite quickly on Mike 1972. So we do have a difference in tire compounds coming from the races here essentially as well, right? If we remember, remember, Hair Razor and Mike both started on the medium racing tire, where Ishmael just tried to maintain pace on the hard tire behind these guys, and did a pretty good job of maintaining a relative pace with the medium tire runners. And now that he's on that medium tire and our front runners are on the hard tire, Ishmael's actually at the current advantage right now because he has the faster tire about optimal range at the moment. So his car is currently almost at the best it could be at the moment. So this is where he really needs to capitalize on that and try to get the job done so he can get around second place here and try to start tracking up to Hair Razor in the race lead. Because as we get near the end of this race, after about 25 minutes on those medium tires, his pace is going to start to fall off on this car, and those hard tires may start to gain the advantage back. So it's going to be very interesting to see now how Ishmael navigates his next couple laps here. These are a very important couple laps here for him. I'm sure he's aware of that. He's got 17 minutes left on the clock here, and he's still got a 3-second gap. Get around Mike 1972 cleanly and get away from him. So we are side by side here. We're getting into turn number 1, and Mike 1972 got a great run up the straight there. Managed to maintain the pace of Ishmael's Mazda there, but Ishmael's going to get it done there and move himself up into second place. So great battle here between these two racers right now. Ishmael gets the job done. We see Super now making a pit stop here as well. And what is his tire condition here? We don't get to see it because we were a little too late, but he's going to come out on the faster tire here, the racing medium tire, and it does manage actually to keep him up into 4th place there. That is most certainly taken about any shot here, I think, at gaining a podium position at this point, because our podium sitters do not appear that they're going to be making a second stop here. We got Bar in 5th place, 3 seconds in behind Super there after that pit stop, and TDC Gaming now in 6th place, still with Eastland right there in behind him. TDC is kind of right in the middle of this mid-pack battle here right now, starting to close that ground on Bar 27, however, though, and Eastland is still right there along for the ride, still just a car length in behind TDC Gaming as well. So not a lot has changed right here between these 3 drivers, but they continue to apply pressure to each other and see which one makes the mistake first, so to speak, I think. We got Petrolhead here in 8th place. He's got 5 seconds in behind them guys right there, and then we've got Rad UU here about 7.5 seconds in behind. Petrolhead and Type R is just in behind her here in 10th position, so we may have just missed that potentially. That's on me. We got Doug Burrow 6 seconds in behind here in 11th place, and we got Sheriff here in 12th position, 10 seconds in behind currently. But it is Hair Razor here. He's been leading, I would say, 60% of this race at this point now. It was Doug Burrow in there very early going. Superboy took advantage of that on the race start, got into the race lead, led about the first, I want to say, 20, maybe 25% of the race, and then Hair Razor then overtook and has been in the race lead since. But now he has Ishmael that is trying to track him down. Now that gap was just a little over 3 seconds last time we were up front here, which wasn't that long ago, and now that gap is closed down to almost 2.8. So Ishmael is chipping away at Hair Razor here, and Mike 1972 is just about to the point now where Ishmael has broken any slipstream opportunity for Mike 1972. So Ishmael essentially is free and clear of 3rd place there now, and focus most certainly is going to be on that race leader. Superboy here in 4th place, 26-second gap. He has a big hole to fill here if he wants to see that podium today. But right here, I think, is where we need to be watching right now. I mean, we are in the thick of a mid-pack battle for 5th place. It's a 3-way battle for 5th place between Bar, TDC Gaming, and Ruben Eastland here. So we see Bar going on that semi-defensive line. We got TDC being out on the wide side because he has to go to the outside to make the pass. And we've seen Eastland thought about looking up the inside of Cat there, but he didn't quite have the run, so he just stays in behind. He's going to let these two fight it out here for this position. What he needs to do is just get close, and then as soon as this battle is done, find the hole and try to take advantage, try to follow through. So, Bar 27 at potential risk of potentially going down 2 positions here. TDC is not going to give up on this. He is on the high side, and he is hanging it out there, trying to get the job done, but Bar 27 does a great job so far holding off the charge. But now Eastland is thinking, all right, I'm buying this game that Cat is doing here. Let's get in behind TDC. Let's wait till he gets side by side with Bar. Maybe we give him a little push. But no, big mistake made there by TDC Gaming. I did not see what happened there, but Eastland grabs the position, and now he puts himself in a position to attack bar 27. So where TDC Gaming looked like he was starting to apply some serious pressure there to get that position from bar 27, in comes that little green Audi and absolutely robs TDC of a position there. Now puts TDC in the watching position as Eastland is now trying to attack bar 27. However, that tiny little exchange between Cat and Eastland there did allow bar 27 to split for a moment there to start to break free, but now we can see that has very quickly changed as Cat gave Eastland a little push. That put Eastland right back on the rear bumper of bar 27, so much so he helped bar get through the corner a little bit quicker there. And this is a great three-way battle here right now for position. So bar is on the defense here from that Audi in behind. The Audi sees it. He's just going to take the outside line. Bar is going to make sure he takes as much of that racetrack to get his line as he can to defend that position. And that is a great defense. Eastland is all over that rear bumper here right now like a fly in the middle of summer on the highway. He is there, and he is stuck. Inside now on bar 27 is Eastland here. This is a good, hard battle, but that's going to put him back on the outside track here. And oof, a little bit of contact. Cat's going to take advantage of that. He's going to move up in beside Eastland now. Now they're side by side through the hairpin. On the tough part of the hairpin, though, is TDC Gaming, and he is going to have to just tuck back in behind Eastland here at bar 27. And Eastland and TDC have all got to be sweating bullets here right now. You definitely know that the grips on the wheels are a little bit tighter, the nerves are a little bit higher, and the intensity is amped up a little bit more, which means that the body temperature is increasing a little bit more. And there we go. You can see the pressure starting to show right there. Bar just with a very, very small, brief lapse of concentration right there. It goes a little bit wide, and boy, oh boy, that absolutely immediately puts him under fire. And now we got three-way. I thought this was going to be a three-way drag race into the first corner there, but Cat decided, or Eastland decided just to pull out of that, get in behind bar, use slipstream, try to break ahead of TDC Gaming, and that's exactly what he does there. So he is going to move ahead of TDC. He's going to take that outside line, defending from TDC Gaming. TDC Gaming is going to try and help push bar through now to hold the position and try to get the position on Eastland himself, but Eastland's going to get the job done up into P5. Absolutely spectacular battling right now by the mid-pack. We don't care what's happening up front right now. These guys are absolutely throwing it, man. The gloves have come off. The fist tape has come off. The mouth guards have come out. They've been throwing off to the corner, and these guys are straight out brawling right now for 5th place. This is fantastic. We love this. This is why we love this community. All right, bar 27 here. I mean, he is hot on the defense. He is nowhere near done yet here. I mean, these guys are going to need a shower at the end of this race because they are going to be so sweaty from this absolutely great battle here today. Damn Cat just chilling right now here in 7th place. We are not leaving this fight. This is an absolutely spectacular fight. We're keeping an eye on that 1st and 2nd place battle going on here. I mean, we have an idea that Ishmael is very, very close there, but boy, we just don't want to leave this. We're going to miss something too good if we leave this battle. We've got to stick with it. They're stealing the show. That's always steals the show, man. All right, so Cat has now gotten around bar 27. Bar 27 is now the chasing driver. So all that pressure over the last three and a half laps, Bar finds himself down 2 positions. Eastland finds himself up 2 positions, and TDC finds himself exactly where he's been. So now he's on the rear bumper of the Audi, trying to attack the Audi here. Now we're side by side as we head into this very difficult middle sector, and here we go again. TDC gets a great run on the outside there. That puts him on the inside here. Oh, he cannot quite get the car in far enough, and muscles his way through. There is that Audi, just manages to keep the position on TDC. TDC goes really wide into the hairpin here. That is going to allow Bar potentially. No, Bar has to stay in behind. This little battle between Bar and TDC is great for Eastland right now. It's broken just a small little gap, an extra car length right now, just an extra moment to take an extra breath behind that wheel as he now prepares again to probably get on the defense. So TDC, Bar 27, and Eastland absolutely providing the thrill factor for our viewers here at the GTRC today. GG's boys, but we got to go take a quick look here. All right, Hair Razor and Ishmael, 0.7 seconds now separating our race leader from 2nd place as well. We're going to be keeping our eye on this here as this continues to go. Let's get back to that mid-pack. All right, so Eastland's still in front here with TDC and Bar 27. Bar 27 is just hanging back just a hair here right now. He's letting these two kind of fight it out. He's getting right for a ball and probably try to get right in the middle of it and take advantage. Nope, he's going to close the gap back up. So nose to tail, 3 deep for 5th place here. Fantastic stuff from the GTRC racing community. tell you what. All right, Eastland here doing a great job of putting that Audi in the right place at the right time here right now after a good hard battle to get himself there, but this battle is far from over. We still have 8.5 minutes on the clock, and I don't think that this is going to change too much here over the next 8.5 minutes. They have settled down at this point right now, and that is about it. All right, Hair Raiser, Ishmael here, still about the same gap. All right, we're keeping our eye on 2 different places at the same time now, chat. Let's get busy. Let's get busy. TDC gets a run. He's going to take a little bit of outside look here, but I think he's going to try and cut in, and that's exactly what he was going to do. Ruben did not open up the corner, and risking a penalty. There is TDC Gaming. Does he get penalized for the shortcut on that chicane there? It does not appear so. Very fortunate there for TDC Gaming. He did not get the half second there from our track official to determine that that was fair game. A hard battle. He did not penalize him for that, and he didn't gain anything off of that. But Barr had a little bit of a poor final sector there. Something must have happened, and he finds himself a little bit off track here, but he gets a good run through corner number 1, makes up for it very quickly, and gets right back into the fight. All right, let's go see what's happening up here for our race lead. It is still Hair Raiser 7/10 of a second ahead of Ishmael. Hair Raiser's doing a really great job at managing the pace of this race, but I mean, you can't discredit Mike 1972 here because he's still within 1.5 seconds of Ishmael, which means he's still within 2 seconds of the race leader here as well. So this battle itself here for our top 3, I think, is far, far from over. I mean, Super's the only one who's just cruising right now. He's in no man's land. He's just finishing out his day here at this point. But boy, we got some battles brewing. We got some battles brewing here. Here we go, TDC and Barr now side by side here. Still leading the charge in this 3-way battle for 5th place here. That Audi doing all the right things at the right times here right now to try and maximize this absolutely fantastic fight we've been watching here for the last, I don't know, 8 minutes. It's been beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Commentators are bringing it action like this on the racetrack. But we do need to obviously keep an eye on the front of this pack here as well, because that battle is going to start unfolding here soon, I think, as well. But here we go again. TDC with the over-under. What a beautiful setup right there from TDC Gaming. And he gets the position on that Audi. Barr's now in behind the Audi, trying to push through. If I were Barr, I'd be in behind TDC Gaming right now, pushing TDC Gaming from taking advantage of that hole that TDC just created with Barr. Unfortunately, he's just going to settle in behind Eastland here. And TDC Gaming pulls a little trick up his sleeve into turn 1 there, and a beautifully executed over-under move. But boy, Ruben's not having any of that. He's like, all right, I see that move, and I'll raise you up. I'm going to get back up beside you and see what you got battle. Bar 27 just sitting there waiting for the opportunity to try and find a hole, try to gain a position, maybe get a 2 for here, but TDC Gaming is not having it. He's like, nah, I can play this defensive game. Watch what I can do. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, what do we watch? What do we watch? Woo. Oh, the over-under coming back here from Eastland, but he can't quite get it done. TDC gets good power down. Barr and TDC both extremely wide on that exit, and boy, that might have just paid off for Eastland right there. He took it prim, he took it proper, and he has no penalty over his car. Does TDC Gaming, does Bar 27. Bar 27 does have a half second. That's going to pull him out of this fight. TDC does not. Interesting. All right, let's keep with it. We still have 5 minutes remaining. This is going to be a spicy 5 minutes of racing here up in the front half of this field, chat. I am so sorry to our back half right now, but this is just way too good. Way too good. All right, let's take a minute. Let's go see what's happening everywhere else. A whole lot of closeness, but not a whole lot of crazy battling like we've been watching. Oh, Bar 27. No, TDC gets it wrong. Oh, TDC makes the mistake. He goes deep into the first corner, and he's going to lose both those positions. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. Eastland back up into P5. Bar 27 into 6th place. That half-second penalty isn't as significant now as TDC is a couple seconds in behind. Pressure mounting to these guys. All that hard fighting starting to wear those guys down. Concentration breaking a little bit. A small misjudgment on the braking, and off track and down 2 positions there is TDC Gaming after an absolutely textbook over-under move to get that position. Wow, what a fight in that mid-pack. Let's get some GGs up in the chat for that mid-pack battle. That was incredible. Absolutely incredible stuff. That is exactly what the round 5 race was like, apparently, to the best of my understanding here from the last round of racing from these guys. It's really unfortunate we didn't get that out to everybody, but you know what, we'll get some highlights out for everybody on that so you can still see all the great action that was missed in that race as well. It was just as good as the action we were just seeing for just as long, if not longer, and we're not done. We're not done with racing action here yet. I don't think we have Sheriff here just in front of a Hair Raiser currently as a flag car. We got Ishmael literally on the rear bumper of first place here at this point, and Mike 1972 is still right there, striking distance. And I mean, that penalty to Barr basically allowed Eastland to drive away. It's up to Eastland at this point now to give that 5th place away. A mistake is going to bring those guys back into the fight. Clearly they're very equally paced, the 3 of them drivers that were in that battle, so it's going to be very hard for Barr now to close up that 2-second gap on Eastland, as long as he keeps it lean and mean and keeps that green Audi machine moving up the road. I'm sorry, it was going to happen eventually in the stream. And you know what, thank you boys, because we got to love that Audi for a while. Appreciate it. Alright, Hair Raiser here in first place, and Ishmael is calculating right now. This isn't, he's calculating, you know, when can I get it, where can I close in on him, but we did state that the medium tires are only going to get about 20 to 25 minutes on this racetrack. We did state that. And we did state that near the end of the stint that the medium tire could potentially become worse than the hard tire, and when I go and look, our assumption is most certainly correct here. So Ishmael no longer has a chance for this race lead. I don't think, in my opinion, he just overextended his tires a little bit trying to get into that race lead, and he's allowed Hair Raiser now probably the ability to pull away. Ishmael now needs to worry about Mike 1972 here in 3rd place. Mike 1972 has closed the gap back up on Ish here, and with enough time on the clock, essentially, a couple more laps on the board left yet here, this potentially could still change hands here for P2, so we'll be keeping our eyes on this here as well. We're going to get back up to 5th place here. Barr is cooking right now. He has closed a second up on this gap on Eastland, so maybe Eastland made a small mistake somewhere along the way here, and Cat is still 2.2 behind. So like I said, very equally paced races here, these 3 today, and it shows right now in this battle to try and close up the gap to reengage up in that battle. But right now we're going to sit here with P2 and P3 with Ishmael and Mike, and to see what happens here, because this is the battle for podium position right near the end of the race at this point here, and Ishmael's kind of fighting for his life here, but we do have a yellow flag up in front of these guys here, so I'm not sure what that's about. There is a driver in trouble here, and it was Doug Barrow. Doug Barrow off the track there as the race leaders come around, so very, very tough day there for Doug Barrow here as well. Uncharacteristic here coming from Doug today, but it is what it is. We all have our good and bad days, so it is Hair Raiser here, as this is going to be the final lap here, ladies and gentlemen. So Mike 1972 has less than a couple of kilometers at this point to get a better podium position here. So you can see Doug is closing up on Sheriff there. That'll be about 4, 11, and 12 place between the 2 of them. But right now our focus is most certainly on this podium battle. You can see Doug goes over under there, tries to look underneath Sheriff, and they are side by side there. A little bit of touch between the 2 guys there. No harm, no foul being done there. Ishmael now on the full defense here. Mike 1972 took a look on the other side there, as there was no inside option there, and trying to get past on, couldn't quite make it stick. Ishmael managed to hold the defense through the corner here, but now Mike 1972 with the over-under right there as he comes through the hairpin. That's going to put him on the outside here on this sweeping uphill section, but he opts, he is going to take that outside line. A little bit of rear wheel slide right there. We talked about those cold rear tires on these front wheel drive cars. That was a little bit of it right there. He was off the racing line, a little bit marbly, a little bit colder, and you can see the reaction of those rear tires here. So this is very, very interesting at the moment here. We got Hair Raiser coming through here. We want to make sure we catch our race winner for round number 6. Congratulations to Team Rad's Hair Raiser. Well done by him. And Ishmael is just going to do enough to hold the charge out for Mike 1972 coming in 3rd place. Great race today, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely bombing racing happening here from the GTRC community. That was lit. That mid-pack battle was absolutely epic. Super here in 4th position, and I mean he's been in no man's land for the last 15 minutes of the race. He's just been chilling, and comes across there in 4th place with the 2-stop strategy. Eastland warrior in the green machine Audi here. I tell you what a battle between him and Barr and TDC Gaming. They absolutely stole the show here today, and Eastland's going to be the winner of that battle here, taking a very strong 5th place finish here for him. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to our green machine Audi. We got Bar 27 here in 6th place. And it's going to be Rad Yu coming into 7th place. Whoa, what happened here? We've got Petrolhead here in 8th place. Oh boy, TDC collapsing here at the end of the race. Not sure what happened to TDC there, but it's going to be a P9. And maybe had to go into fuel saving mode there, as we see Type R actually in that same situation here. He's completely out of fuel. He is under coasting power here in the final dying seconds of this racing event here today from the GTRC community. So he will still take a 10th place finish. As you can see, Doug Barrow finished in 11th with the checkered flag there, and Sheriff finishing in 12th with the checkered flag there as well. Whew. Oh, TDC had to pit. Oh, rip. What a battle, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, what a battle in that mid-pack. That was absolutely worth all the wait here today for the GTRC Community Group 4 Drivetrain Championship. This was round 6 here, ladies and gentlemen, at a top of the short. Put our hands together for the GTRC racing community. What an absolutely thriller of a race here today from these guys and gals. Let's get some GGs up in the chat for these guys. Let's show these guys and gals the love, because man, they put it all on the line out there today in that mid-pack, especially. Hairraiser with the victory here, so good gains here for Hairraisers. I think he started about in the front middle part of the pack and worked his way up to the front and did not look back. Very, very solid drive right there from Hairraiser. So our unofficial results at this point here, and we say unofficial because now there's a process. The drivers will have 24 hours from the end of the race to potentially submit any incident reports to the stewarding officials at GTRC Community. From there, if there's any incident reports, the stewards will assess those reports. They will send that assessment to the administration staff, and the administration staff will then finish the due process from there. Then there's an appeals process that's allowed for if necessary, and once that's all done, they make the race official. So this is as the race stands as it finishes right here, right now, live in front of us, and barring any penalties or infractions, this should remain exactly how our race finishes. But we have to give it its due process. So it is Hairraiser in the Scirocco, and great race win for him. He really played it smart, played a great strategy here today, and it paid off for him. Ishmael gave it a heck of a run with the reverse strategy there. He really gave it everything he had, but at the end of the day, he just wore those front tires out a little too much in that Mazda, and going to fall a little short finishing there in second place. But boy, Mike was almost to take advantage in that Scirocco there in the third place, putting the pressure on Ishmael right at the end of the race there, just unable to find a way to navigate as the timer was not his friend there. Superboy in fourth position there. Great run from him. And we got Eastland in fifth place, and the winner of that absolutely intense battle we watched for the large last quarter of the race essentially. But the fast lap does go to Superboy here on the racetrack, and that does matter because that does bring extra points to the racers that get that fast lap as well. Rad Yu in 7th position, right behind Rad Bar, 27 there in 6th place. Rad Petrohead will finish in 8th position here. That puts TDC Gaming, unfortunately, down into 9th place after an absolute show of an over-under move into turn 1 to really get us excited here in the booth. Type R there in 10th place. We had Doug Burrow in 11th and Sheriff Doofy finishing in 12th place. A little bit of a tough race for a couple of the racers here today, but that is racing, ladies and gentlemen, and that is how it goes. So all I want to say is congratulations to all of our racers. Incredible race day here today, and I mean, this is what we get from the GTRC racing community. I mean, I've said it time and time again, and I've said it today. This is my favorite chill racing community in the Gran Turismo 7 community. I love this community, and that is why. That is why they give us that every weekend, every Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, at 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. There is a championship running here at the Gran Turismo racing community on GT7. Need to find out more? Message us here on the YouTube channel. We'll get you a Discord invite on a personal level, and we'll get you into their server so you can go and check out to see what they have going on. You can also find the Gran Turismo racing community over on Sim League Pro as well. So go take a look. Definitely pop in and say hi. And GG's to the racers. What else can we say, ladies and gentlemen? Absolute bang-up job from the Gran Turismo racing community today. If this is what we're going to get for the rest of this Group 4 championship as we move towards the end of the season with 3 races remaining, I believe, you guys and gals are in for one heck of a treat. I gotta tell you what. That was a genuine privilege to be in the booth here today for these guys and gals to watch that race, to bring such great racing to our community and to our viewers and to our fans. So that one was for you guys and gals out there in the Winter Circle community and the GTRC community fan base. That one was definitely for you guys. Hope you all enjoyed your live commentary today. Definitely leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you'd like to see different. And we're always open to suggestions and ideas here at the GTRC and GT45 Gaming. And definitely don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. Or if you've just jumped in to see what's going on, please do us a favor and hit that like button for us. It helps the algorithm. It helps the page grow. The quicker we fall into that YouTube algorithm, the quicker we can make the sim racing action bigger, better, faster as a bigger community. We appreciate you all. One important thing, ladies and gentlemen, message from myself and the GTRC racing community. Remember, you all matter. Don't be scared to reach out. My door's always open. The community's doors are always open. It is better just to let it off your chest, get it out, talk to somebody who's willing to listen, and just get it out. It might not solve your problem, but it will definitely help relieve a little bit of immediate burden you're feeling, and it may give you enough clarity within your own self to be able to start to find that forward progressive path to the right direction you're looking to go. Don't let it get you down. You are not alone. Stay winning, and we'll see you guys in 2 more weeks for the next Group 4 Drivetrain Championship here from the GTRC community, with a full package implied for everybody this time and podium interviews at the end of the weekend. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all a little bit later here at GT45 Gaming. Ciao for now, everybody.